I've sorted out the connection. The connection should be fine. Sound should be okay. Hey, how you doing, everyone? It's Tuesday, still half-term week with Raheem, so I'm trying to juggle looking after my son and obviously website work. And productivity has gone blech, like proper skyrocketed downwards. Not really got much done today. A bit of admin duties here and there. Was a problem on a client's website. Had to go and sort that out. Basically, a bit of CSS code just for some bizarre reason stopped working. So I inserted it again into another part of the website. Exactly the same code. And then everything worked. I don't know. But hey, it now works. I don't know if it was a blip with something or the other. Anyway, main issue is it's now fixed. But I hope you're all okay. But like I said, productivity has hit a bit of a rock bottom stage at the moment. I wanted to get some videos recorded and get some work on. I also wanted to experiment with 2 other hero banner styles, but I'm gonna have to delay that now till later on in the week. You know, hey Manuel, hey Harish, hey Brian, hey Harish as well. How you all doing? Hope you're okay. As you can see behind me, I've gone and messed around a little bit with the footage that now plays on here. So I've got a bit of a montage to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it's going to be like a memory trip behind me right now, which I hope you like. Hey Fedast, how you doing? You're right, Brian. Kids do get way too much time off, right? And when they get a week off, you kind of go, well, we just had the Easter break not that long ago. And now we have another week off. When you're working from home, every second counts. And today my son was like, oh, I want to go to a music store. So it's like, oh, what? So we had to go to a store and he wanted to play on the pianos and all the guitars. And I just said, no, you can't do that, right? You can't do that. Absolutely, Dave. I hope it's going to feel like a memory trip, right? As you watch the footage playing behind me. And there's all sorts going on here, right? There's all sorts of stuff, you know. And it's not just Infinity War. It kind of goes through so many of the movies and stuff like that. So you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. But it was nice to finally work out how can I get footage. It's got to be done in a certain way, uploaded, and then it just panoramic screens it across 3 screens, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna play around with a few. What was going to play with some hero banners and stuff like that. Obviously, like not long after we did the live chat, Elementor went and dropped the version 3.14, which surprised a lot of us, especially that we now get the nested carousel. Thank God for that. You know what? You don't need to be using the image carousel or the testimonial carousel. Well, maybe, yeah, if you want the bubble effect and all of that. Even sliders. You could argue now, why are you using the traditional? Just use the new nestable carousel though. Eventually it's in beta at the moment. Eventually when we get that, it is going to be super, super awesome and cool. And I do think that once we get that, the final version, it's going to be great for creativity. How many times have we done a template and then shoved the shortcode in? And then you got to go back and modify the template. And then you got to double check. Being able to do things on the fly is great. And that's not all. You can take that carousel a stage further. You could have slide 1 is an image. Slide 2 is like some text. Slide 3 could be a post. Do you get what I'm saying here? You could have a post and then another post next door. You could do a loop grid, but then you make it that it's using a template, but it only shows one post, maybe, something like that. You know, when you do the offset and all of that, and then you can do another one with post 2, you can fit them in. Wendy, you've just sent me your website. Are you ready for me to have a look? I won't do it until I know you're ready, Wendy. It's the first time I'm looking at your website as well. Absolutely, Elementor Pro are running a discount at the moment today. I've not advertised it because sometimes people accuse me of just always promoting Elementor a lot, whereas I like to promote lots of things. So I'm not promoting it for the simple reason that if you want it, go and get it. But they've got a great discount going on at the moment with hosting and Elementor Pro. Right, okay, Wendy, we are now going to jump into Wendy's website. Here we go. Right, here we are. Right, let me just rearrange my screen a bit just so we can see more of the screen because I've squashed it up a bit there. There we go. Okay, right, I'm just going to refresh your screen just so we can see the animation. So we get the image flash in and then we get the words slide up a little bit like that. We have an interesting top bar here. Grab my website toolkit and creative everything. The only thing you need to do on here, Wendy, it's a very minor thing, right, that I'm going to suggest here, but the only thing you need to do is, can you see the padding here and there? They're not equal, so what I would do is try and equalize that a little bit. Equalize that. I mean, I would even say that that is too small. That's probably better, but you don't want to have it too big, so just equalize that. Wendy J, Design Inspiration Portfolio. Now, the only thing that I think you could improve on here is this is not centered, right? You see this top bit here? This is not centered. So you got a lot of space here, not a lot here. And then you got not a lot here, but a lot here. And I would say get this to be inside a fixed width of, boxed width of 1000 pixel, right? So go for 1000, right? And then do the same here. So for both of those containers, 1000, 1000, then go for space between or something like that, because obviously you got two buttons here, because I think it looks like it's off a little bit. There's more here and there's more there, and then because you need, but by having them go to like the same width, it helps to anchor it a little bit. Does that make sense, Wendy? Please do let me know if I'm not making sense. It's just to anchor it a bit. There is a lot of space here. And where you say, hi, I'm Wendy, if you're here, you probably want da-da-da-da. I would change this. I wouldn't start with, hi, I'm Wendy, because we know your name's Wendy over there. Hi, I'm Wendy. If you're here, I would say, I would make some of this be your main headline, and I'd get rid of all of that. I would go for something like building, creating profitable systems and strategies for growing your revenue. That's your main headline. Then underneath it, you have a subheader, slightly smaller, which is stunning website experiences. So not as stunning, it'd be stunning website experiences for your clients and customers. In fact, clients and customers are the same thing. So take out the word customers, right, and just go for clients. Or take out the word clients and only go for customers. They're kind of the same thing in a way a little bit. So creating profitable systems and strategies for growing your revenue. Subheader, stunning website experiences for your clients. Clients runs off the tongue better than customers. Customers, clients. It just runs off quicker. You don't need to have that. You can get rid of that. You can even get rid of that as well. You are in the right place. You could get rid of that as well if you like. But I would definitely fill it up here a bit more. So lift it and fill it. Unless you're going to have an example website here, you've got, that's like dead space there. I mean, all we can see is caps lock, tab, and escape. So yeah, and you don't want people to escape, okay, as well. So yeah, grab my website toolkit. Now I am wondering if maybe, if you're going to do this here, right, I am tempted to take it away from the top here, you know. Also, what Jeff says is a good point. Remove the drop shadows. I don't think you need it. Secondly, I would get rid of this top bar completely. Get rid of that. Completely ditch it. Because what you could do is, if you position your website to start like that, so you don't have the top bar, that's the top now, your new top. You got your hero banner. You know, I would try and get an example of a website in there. Change that headline, lift it all up a bit. Now down here in this position is where you can have your call to actions. Create a bit of spacing here as well. You'll notice here you've got a bit of spacing, big spacing. That's a little bit close, but that will work. That, like this. Take a screenshot if you want. this will work better than I think that. And then you come down again, and it's almost like you're repeating yourself before you've given them enough to convert and click. That's the key bit. Have you done enough to make them want to go deeper? That's the key bit. How can I help you? Are you searching for? Yeah, okay. So this is where you can expand on your services. Yep, okay. You definitely need more padding here, though. You definitely need more padding. You got about, I don't know, 60, I think, 60 pixel. Over here, you've got about 20-ish, 25. You need to get about 60 over there. You got testimonials. Now, there is a danger, though. There is one big danger, okay? At the moment, we haven't seen... So it's really good that we get Ingrid, and we get Renee, and Venus, and Wendy. It's lovely we get all these people. The trouble is that we haven't had a single website yet, even if it is just a screenshot. So I would definitely try and get something over here. And if we don't get it over here, we need to try and get something... Before we get to the testimonial, you've got to have some examples there. Work with me. Yeah, that's quite... I mean, it's not needed, and I think you can make that smaller. I would make that half the size. It doesn't need to be that big because it's very close to the words. Move it over to the right a bit more. Work with me, let's create your home. I would make that left aligned. There's something about left aligned and all of that, yeah. I would move that over here, left align it. Because centralized you can get away with short, snappy, punchy, do. When you get to stuff like this, because it now runs into text, which is left aligned, I think that make that left aligned as well. Again, watch out for your padding. Watch out for your padding. Now, this is kind of good. You've done a portfolio. But the trouble is, for instance, if I go to Cake Dr. Amy and I click on Cake Dr. Amy, it's going to take me to Amy's website, right? It's a bit slow, but it will take me to Amy's website. The danger here is you're chucking people out to see your work. So look, now it's taking me over to their website. It doesn't seem to be opening very quick. However, you're chucking me out to do that. It didn't even open it in a new tab. It took me elsewhere. So get the info about their websites and their images and all of that on your website. Don't chuck me out because I might go, oh, I'm going to buy a cake from Cake Dr. Amy and forget about you. So you don't want to be doing that. Have a look at a tutorial that I've got coming out. I think it's coming out. I think it comes out on Thursday. Auto scroll or one of those ones. You might want to look at that one, okay? So you can have an auto scroll effect rather than the slider. Okay, I've got a video for that coming out. Gold on that doesn't work from a web accessibility. It doesn't work very well, that. Either go for black text or lighten this a lot. You got your Instagram. That's not a bad idea. Instagram's a good idea sometimes. But what you really want to be doing is watch your padding. Change the top. Get rid of that top one. Make it look more like that. Watch your hero banner. You know, images of websites. Really, really important. I went through that a little bit quick, Wendy, but did that give you food for thought? By the way, you don't have to agree with everything or anything that we say. It's your website, it's your client's website, you're working on it. Always, always, always. And by the way, I'm speaking to everyone here now. I do not control or make websites wonderful, and I can't, it's not just down on what I think. It's not just down on what Dave thinks, or Harish, or Jeff, or Brian, or John, or anyone. It doesn't matter. And likewise, the other way around as well. We're giving advice, but do go with your gut instinct as well. And if you know that kind of like that would work with a lot of your clientele, they love that, and you are getting clients, Don't reinvent what's working for you. But if you feel like, well, I'm doing it, but I'm a little bit unsure, here's the opportunity to slightly just give it a bit of a makeover, really. But it's always brave. I do think that anyone who does this, where they submit their website for a review and you can submit to this email address, you are all brave. I really am. I do think you are all brave people because you're putting it out there. You're putting your website out there for other people who are going to go, well, I really like that. I really hate that. Ooh. Oh, wow. So credit to all of you that do that. You know, credit to all of you. And you will, oh, hey, Johnny, how you doing? And you will see comments here from other people. And one thing about the Web Squadron is that we try to be constructive, but we also try to see the good in what people are doing. And if I ever find that anyone is being overly critical in a negative or a demeaning way, they get chucked out of the live chat and the group completely forever. Yeah, exactly like John said. Look at what it's working. Look at what is happening. Brian, do you know what? Look, Brian, if you ever want, you know, please do not worry. And what I would say though, Brian, is that if you have doubts, is that because you are starting to doubt what you've done? And if you have, maybe that's the right time to get a review, because maybe you just need someone to go, no, it's okay. It's okay, Brian. Don't worry. Yeah, there's a little bit here and there, but generally it's okay. Maybe you just need to hear someone say that. Because when you ask your friends and family, Wendy, can you tell me if I'm wrong? And by the way, I'm not picking on you, Wendy, but can you tell me, Wendy, if you show your website to your friends and family, do they all say, hey, yeah, it's brilliant? But often that's because they might not understand a better way or a different way of doing it. Or sometimes they'll just say, yeah, it's brilliant to everything and anything that any one of us puts forward. I could create the worst website in the world and my wife will be like, that's really good. Because she ain't got a clue about how to build websites. Right. Johnny's question. What is a good base to start a new Elementor project? Well, Johnny, have you watched our tutorial I did 3 weeks ago, the 7-hour Elementor one? You start with the header. You decide if your header's going to be a boxed width or a full width. You decide. Then you go and create your menu to make sure you got a menu showing. You don't do too much on the header. Just get it to look good on the mobile and desktop. Just decent enough. Then you start working on your hero banner. And again, you decide, is it a full width? Is it a boxed width? If it's going to be boxed width, decide now what is the threshold. I like to go with 1,100. Yeah, some people go with 1,400. And then I start to go, yeah, you're pushing it now a bit on laptops and stuff. But if you're using clamp, responsive, you know the calculator, we did a video on that as well. What? Yesterday, in fact, we did that video, the REM and the clamp and all of that. Go watch it. How can you build a website in the desktop and almost not worry about the tablet or the mobile, other than the fact you might have to rejig or hide certain images when you get onto the mobile? So you can do that. Yeah, and I want to say thank you to Pez, because he's absolutely right. You should be smashing the like button right now. Smash it. And of course, also, like Dave said, family are biased. Family can't see the wood from the trees sometimes. They really can't. And even when they have a feeling it's not going to work, sometimes they don't want to say it because they kind of go, well, you're the web designer. I don't like it, but maybe there's a reason you did it that way, so I'll just say I like it. Do you get what I mean? Kind of thing, right? Can you imagine if, like, your uncle is a mechanic, he builds cars and he makes loads of money, and he builds a car and it looks ugly, but he's a car mechanic. Even though it's ugly, you're going to go, yeah, that's different. Yeah, wow, never seen that before. Wow, yeah. Because you're scared or afraid to kind of go, what the heck is that? Because they might turn around and go, I've been building cars for 20 years, so shut up. So when you ask anyone in your family, even when they think they don't like it, they're probably going to say they like it because they don't want to offend you. Thank you, Wesley. Yay, it's just lots of footage we've stuck together. And I'm going to change it I'll change it in a moment as well, because it only goes on for about 12 minutes before it starts to repeat. So I will probably change it in a moment. Otherwise, you're just going to keep seeing the same footage over and over and over again. And it gets a little bit annoying. Johnny, I see you sell a template for $9. Yeah, that is one we built with Flexbox Container. It's got 99% on the mobile and the desktop. It's built with optimization. It's got some good strategy in there. If you want to go for it, go for it. But you don't have to go for it, okay? Yeah, absolutely, Bergschwuck. Forget about the tablet. However, if you use Clamp for your fonts and you apply some thinking behind your padding and margin, when you build it for the desktop, you are sorted for the tablet technically as well. Because the Clamp is kind of handling the desktop to mobile, and everything in between gets kind of caught up as well. So in a way, I like to forget about the tablet, but you kind of haven't forgotten about the tablet when you build it. Is it possible to use Clamp in the header with bricks? Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can use it. If you go and use our Clamp calculation generator, we've got a bit of code there which you can use. So you can say the logo is 300 pixels wide on the desktop, make it 150 pixels wide on the mobile, and the image will literally go like that as you increase and decrease your screen. Amber, can we clone a specific WordPress website whole design? Well, not really clone, but you can recreate it. You can't clone it, but you can recreate it. How do I submit my website for review? Stephen, over here, email address, down here. Ding, 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 email over there. Yeah, email it there. What do I think of essential add-ons for Elementor? Okay, you want me to be really brutally honest now about all of the add-ons? Why do you need it? So, Johnny, tell me why you have thought of essential add-ons. Tell me why. What is it that essential add-ons have got that you really want? There's the question of the day. What has essential add-ons got that you really want? And do you need it? Do you really need it? So what have they got that you want, and do you really need it? Some people have said, oh, there's this really fancy flip box Happy Add-ons have got. And I'm like, do you really need it? And they go, not really. I go, so why are you going to install an extra plugin for one feature? What's the benefit of that? Yeah, absolutely. Amr, to be honest, right, okay, most websites that we build, we are inspired by something we've seen. We've seen a design, we've seen a layout, we have seen something that we like, okay? So what we then do is we kind of imitate or recreate in our own vision. Thereby, if you see something you like, study it, try and work out, well, how would I approach that? And then you go and approach it. It's like a garden. You see a lovely design, you see someone else's garden, you get home and you go, I can't do exactly the same, but how can I take that vision from there to here? And that's the whole thing about inspiration. That is the same with food. It's the same with dressing up. It's the same with hairstyles. It's the same with marriage. Not really, but it could be. Thank you, Brian. I mean, to be honest though, Brian, those websites are fake websites. I'm always tinkering in the background. So at some point they will break. But I'm glad you've gone in and looked at it. And I'm glad you like the responsiveness of it. Really simple and easy, right? Clamp. That's all I did. Bit of clamp here, a bit of clamp there. But again, Johnny, why? Why do you think essential add-ons will make your life easier? Why? I reckon what's happened is you've seen and heard about it a lot and you're thinking it's going to help accelerate. Why? Why would it do that? You know? I bet you can't name a single widget that you know you definitely need. And that's the risk. That's the risk with getting something you know you don't really need. Wendy, I used add-ons back when Elementor first came out. Exactly. Do you know something? Dave makes a good point that dynamic OO is really good for the repeater field in Elementor. If you need it, you got to get dynamic OO. Jet engine, I don't really use, but again, is really, really good. However, the world has moved on, right? And it's only a matter of time before we're going to start to get stuff inside Elementor. I mean, it is like, what should we say? The last 7 months, right? The last 7 months have been great for Elementor. Since November, when the loop grids first came, and it's been dun. It's like, don't get me wrong, some of the stuff they give you, you kind of go, we don't need that. Like the whole top UI bar, nah. The whole color change, nah. You know, there's some things we didn't really need. But the bulk of what we're getting is mind-blowing. Right, so Johnny, right, here's the danger, right? Number one, someone sent you a key. Number two, right, if that key ever runs out and you're using it on customer websites, you are screwed. Number three, can you trust where you got the key from? And number four, right, that's like someone giving you a drink in a pub, in a bar. You're on a night out. Hey, here's a drink. And next thing you do is you wake up and you're missing a kidney and a couple of arms, right? So just because they've given you a key, don't use it yet. You are, I mean, yeah, I mean, things are still evolving, but I do think that where they are now, 7 months ago, I think they were in a bad place with competing against Breakdance, Bricks, and lots of other page builders. Now, I think they're starting to earn a little bit more respect back. And also, the thing I do like about what Elemental don't do, and by the way, Bricks don't do this either. They don't go out, like right now, Bricks do not say, hey, use us because we're better than da-da-da-da-da-da. Elementor also don't do the same. Other page builders do. So I think they're doing well on that side of things. What is my biggest struggle in web design, Johnny? My biggest struggle is, sometimes my biggest struggle is, I know the solution to something is with a plugin, but I don't want to use a plugin. And I end up trying to do it in-house without relying on a plugin. That's always my biggest issue. But when it comes to designing websites, I'm pretty comfortable. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. And I don't even bother stressing about what I can't do because I won't commit to doing what I don't want to do. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I will not go to a restaurant and eat food if I know I don't like the food. I will not try on clothes if I know I don't like the clothes. I will not go to someone's house if I don't like them. So I pick and choose what I want to do. So I can be really selective. So, like, even if I have had a month, 4 weeks without no website work, and that rarely happens, but let's say I have, and it has happened, and then someone comes along with a website and I don't like them or the project or the work, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. I like to be committed on projects that I know I am gonna love. Because if you don't love it, you won't see it through properly. You'll cut corners. You'll be like, oh, there's an issue here. Oh, whatever, let it go. You know, I want to give it my all. Amir, if all your advice brought Elementor Pro, using less plugins and you can replace most of them. Exactly. Exactly, Amir. Well done. Right, Stephen. Are you there, Stephen? Because I've just had your website. You've mentioned you're going to do an overhaul with Clamp and everything. So, Stephen, tell me you're here, and then we're going to jump in and look at Stephen's website. We'll look at Stephen's website. And I'm just trying to get a feel for what the website is about. Right, got a feel, but I've got some advice and tips and hints here straight away. As soon as I've gone in. Right, Stephen. Right, Stephen's ready. Let's go, everyone. Oh, hang on. Let me just quickly check a question. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, Dave, it's amazing, right? The amount of put-down sponsored adverts that appear on Facebook. It's literally like a new one every day, right? Okay. Right, here we go. Right, so this is Stephen Webb. Thank you very much, by the way. So what I'm going to say is that obviously your website is Stephen Webb. You've got menu. Now, there's two things about this, okay? Number one, it's very slow in how it comes in. Number two, it's a little bit of a defeatist thing. So let me explain why. Because we're saying simplify your journey to inner peace, so we want things to feel a little bit less stressful. By then making me click, it's a little bit like, oh, now I've got to click to see it. And I think you're better off having this as just menu over here, right? You know, you could have some of these as well as buttons elsewhere. The contrast here is really, from web accessibility, the contrast is totally wrong over here. You've got to make these so much darker, so much darker. Now, what I would say, though, is having a picture of just you, I think, is not the right way to do it. I think what you need to do is have a photo of you sat with someone where you're not looking at us, you're looking at them. So let me explain, okay? Right? Let me explain. You're going to have like a photo and it might be you sat at an angle, right? And the camera's like this and you're sat talking to someone and you're like reaching out, or you know, they've got their head in their hands and you're being, you know, concerned, or you're advising, you know those kind of hand expressions that we do, stuff like that. So I would say that is going to work better than, I don't want to say it, like a passport photo almost, like, hey, I'm Stephen. So we want to just not do that. I also think you could really do with a full width image. You need a full width image going all the way across. And it could be like you could have images of a mountain, you know, you could have, yeah, you could have images of I mean, look, let me just show you, right? Okay, Nadir Khan, where's his website? Here we go. Right, okay. So here's a website I did for someone, okay? And they wanted, I mean, the photo they got, I keep telling them to change that photo, but they won't listen to me, right? But here's a website that we did for someone, and we kept it very, very, very simple in what it does, okay, in terms of how it explains their services. So I'm sorry I've jumped out into another one, right? But it's kind of like, you know, like the picture of the mountains for psychotherapy. You got the logo, all of that. I know there's a lot of white space here, but they wanted to go for a certain look, right? You know, when we get to services, again, we're kind of repeating the look of that. So what you might want to look at is like a full banner image going on over there. That needs to be aligned to the left. So look, if you got left align, get your button over there. Host of life, stillness in the clouds. I mean, the danger here is I could click this, right? I could click this. And look, I have now gone out of your website to a podcast. I'm out of your website now. I will not go back to your website unless I hit the back button. So either have it open in a new tab or maybe don't have it here. I would have that. I'm jumping now in your footer. I would have that in your footer. Because before you've even convinced me, you're sending me elsewhere kind of thing, yes? So watch out for that. I mean, in a way, you are kind of repeating it here as well. If you're going to make this be a certain width, it's got to match the width of this as well then. Otherwise, it starts to get a little bit mixed up over there. Just hold on a moment. I'm just going to change the background. Just hold on a minute. I've just got to change the background because it's been on repeat now for a while. And it gets a little bit repetitive. Now, by the way, though, when this loads, it's out of sync. And it takes about 5 minutes to get into sync. So just Just go with it, all right? Just go with it. It'll fall back into sync in a moment. Right. If you look at the padding you have over here, you go big to small. I would definitely get rid of that there. The green, yeah, okay, the green works because it fits with your brand. Padding, definite padding here. Otherwise, things are very, very scrunched up. You see lots of padding there. Padding there. Peace comes from within. Do not see. See, like, what I did right on Nadir's website. Let me go back to it. It should be open there. Can you see what I did here with his? He wanted to have a quote. So we put in a parallax image and then we put the quote in. If you look at yours, we've just got a quote. It gets lost in the words. Hey, Pickstar, it gets lost in the words. The same here. It just gets lost in the wording. I could scroll past and not even see it. This is where a full width break. You got some wording and then I give you a break with a quote. That could work for you there. Because there is a lot of wording here. And one of the tricks when it comes to wording, right, is try and break it up with images, right? Give me something to stimulate me, right? Otherwise, it's just wording, wording, wording. So here, we just get word, 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 word. It's a lot of word, right? And again here, this, right, telling me about you should be on about me, the about me page, right? Not here, okay? Because right now you want to convince me to go deeper. Hey, Pickstar, by the way, yeah, latest blogs. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because you've kind of got it here. You're already doing that. So what you're going to have is a link in your menu that says blog. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Download 5 simple practices. That's not a bad idea, but I would make that bigger. It feels too small. Make it, just make it, let me show you again. Just make it bigger. Yeah. Make it bigger. That's a bit too small. And the footer, you need to have some space below. So let me show you an example of what we did here. I mean, oh, sorry, let me get rid of that. This is their footer, right? That's it. It's a very basic footer. But can you see it breathes? This is too close to the bottom here, and all of these colors not needed. Sorry, you can't see it properly. Let me just put the screen up a bit. There we go. See that at the bottom? You don't need all of those colors, you know. Yeah, you are right, John. They could be there for SEO, but I just think that it doesn't work for me because you've already got this here. It feels like it just doesn't work for me. Stephen, did that help, my dear friend? I hope that. By the way, it's catching up. So there's a bit of a break in the sync. So just go with it, okay? Eventually it syncs up. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes before it syncs. So there's a bit of a delay, but just go with it, okay? There's a delay, but it will sync up, all right? That's one of the annoying things. If you don't do it prior, if you do it prior to going live, you don't notice it. It just syncs. But it's like there's a bit of a delay going on there at the moment, and then it will sync up, all right? So just let it go. Just let it go. Let me just check some of the questions or comments that are coming in from here. Harish, I'm really glad, though, that a lot of the tips and strategies that we've put out there are working for you. Johnny, I don't get the wow effect with websites. They look 20 years old if they make sense, and no offense to builder also feels... Well, to be honest, though, it is down to what you do. It is down to what you do. So let me give you an example, right? This is Elementor Pro. This is Elementor Pro, right? Yes, it is a boxed width, but it looks different to what you're probably used to as a home page, right? It has that slightly different feel, but it is still Elementor Pro. It's Flexbox. It's not CSS Grid, okay? So what you do with the website is where you go with your imagination. In fact, why don't we go and have a look at this page? This, again, is going to be Elementor Pro. This is the hero banner. Then we get to the second part. This, again, is 100 VH. Look at that. By the way, this looks better as a boxed width rather than a full width. I prefer it as a boxed width. But you get what I mean? So the way you make it look is down to you. The tools have got nothing to do with it. The tools are nothing to do with it. It's like you could take an apple and the same knife, and one person will just make an apple. They'll just cut the skin off. Another person will make a sculpture out of an apple that will start rotting in 24 hours, but they've made a sculpture. That is Arcane, Shavine, and I can't wait for Season 2. I love Arcane League of... If you've not watched Arcane League of Legends, you have missed out. You gotta watch it. Brilliant. Epic. Some of the best animation I have ever seen. And the acting is immense. Absolutely immense. By the way, it's still playing catch up, which is annoying, right? It's annoying, but it will sync up in a minute. So what is your take on SEO homepage? Well, you got to think about your keywords here, Stephen. You got to think about your key phrases. You got to think about what are other people that you're competing against. What have they got as their keywords? How can you natively fit that in? Oh, Melissa. Hey, Melissa. When did you jump in? Oh, yes, you did. You said, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I've just seen it. Yes. Arcane, League of Legends, Netflix. Seriously, right? Seriously, you have got to watch it. Yeah? I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect. Put it on. My wife was hooked. My son was hooked. It's brilliant. And I'll tell you what, by the end of episode 3, you're just like this with your mouth open. You're like this going, no! No! You know, it's like, no! How could you do that? But it's brilliant. You've so got to watch it. You've so got to watch it. Just like Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is a brilliant show. Season 1 was brilliant. Season 2 was good. Season 1 was better than Season 2, but Season 2 still ended on a high and a low and a mixture, but it was still really good. But Sweet Tooth, you might look at it and think, that's a kid's show. Don't be deceived. It is more adult than kid. I'll tell you that now. It's a really, really good show. So if you've not watched Sweet Tooth or Arcane League of Legends, please go away and do that. And Tron Legacy, right? I loved that film. I thought the special effects in this film and the scenes and the choreography were brilliant. It was like magic. And you know, I know they're going to do another Tron movie soon, but it's going to be different, which I'm a bit annoyed about because I thought, you know, it's a pity that loads of people didn't go watch that. Hey, Bulldog Khan. Have I got your name right? So yeah, we've just done a couple of website reviews and I've just done some kind of commentary and comments about just general stuff. Oh, Melissa, really? You've got to watch Season 2. The first 2 episodes of Season 2 are slow and then it picks up a gear, right? It starts to pick up quite a lot. And by the end of it, you're really rooting for them all again, yeah? But it's a great, great show. If anyone wants a site review, please do send it over. And a bit like how I did stuff like this with different style here, you know, like home pages and hero banners, I'm going to be doing about 4 more. Hopefully I get them out in the next week or 2 or something. Just again to showcase how you can think differently. Because Johnny does make a good point about how some websites look really old. But that's because we start to follow the laws of building. You must have a full width image. You got to have a headline, subheader, call to action. No, you don't. We have a logo and we have our headline. You scroll down, right? And you've got, you got some text. There's our first call to action. That's going to take you to an actual product because I want you to go and buy a product. Okay? Whereas if we go into a different page, like this one, yes, there's a call to action, But I also want you to make your mind up now. What category do you want to go to? Right, you want trousers? Go. Go and look at all the trousers. I'm steering you to the product. Yeah? So there's tricks and things you can do where you don't have to follow what everybody else says. You know, image, headline, subheadline, call to action. It gets very repetitive, yeah? It gets like, oh, same old thing kind of thing, right? You can be a little bit different. Hey, George, you're not late, mate. You're not late. The reason I am early today is because at 4 o'clock we've got a follow-up call with the ADHD consultant. So Raheem started his tablets about 3 weeks ago. So far they're going okay. So far Raheem's doing pretty well with his tablets. And I do think they are making a change. Like he is kind of... he's more thoughtful. He's more considerate. And the school have noticed a massive change in his behaviour. The trouble is, though, the tablets run out about now. And then towards the evening and into the evening, he becomes a little bit more excitable, a bit more erratic, a bit more... he gets triggered very, very quickly. So if you say the wrong thing, or it's the wrong food, or the wrong noise, or the wrong whatever, or the wrong smell, you know, or the wrong lights, or whatever, it triggers him a bit, and he gets really agitated and annoyed. So, just, you know, we're trying to help him out, you know, kind of thing. But it takes time, right? It takes time. It's not easy. It takes time to sort all this out. There you go. It's in sync. Now it's in sync. Can you see it? It's now synced up. So when the scenes change, there's a slight delay just there. Slight split second. Split second. But now it's in. Come on, change. There you go. Look, it's in sync. Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, to be honest though, it was almost like, well, what do we do, Melissa? Right, what do we do? Do we go for meds or not? And the great thing about the meds though is that obviously he can't swallow capsules. He's not good at swallowing stuff like that. But you are allowed to put the meds into like some syrup, or we got a bit of yogurt, so we just put yogurt on the spoon, put it into the yogurt, and he just takes it all in one go, and he likes it. He likes it like that as well. Carlo, do you know? Let me just check this comment here. What is the capability to activate for editors in order to make them able to see Elementor Pro form submissions? Well, Carlo, if you want to see the submissions, right, in Elementor, you go to the features, right, WordPress Elementor settings features. There's a setting there for form submission. You activate that, and then all of the form submissions will now go into a submissions folder. So where you have, well, let me show you, okay? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you, right? Okay. Let's just go over to WordPress, right? So if you go to, where are we? Elementor settings, right? Down here, features. You scroll down, and then you have form submissions, and then you activate that. When you activate that, obviously save changes, and then here in Elementor, you'll now see the word submissions. So if any forms are sent, they will now sit here. So now you can see what people sent. They will now sit there in submissions. So that's one way you could do it. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, John, to be honest though, they're kind of, I mean, I think they're all a different take on Ritalin, aren't they, in a way, or something like that. Yeah, yogurt. It's easy, isn't it? They just swallow it all in one go. So you can see that as admin, but the editor users cannot. Have okay. I'm just trying to think now. It'll be under the where is it? Role manager. If you go to role manager and you go to editor, no access to editor. I'll have to have a double check on that because I thought they could. But you might be right. Maybe they can't. Hey, Brian, by the way. Did I say hi to you earlier, Brian? Yep, go on, Johnny. Have you just sent it, Johnny? Right. Are you ready for me to do it, Johnny? Okay, so what you've done, though, is sent me someone else's website and you're asking me to review it. I think that's a little bit unfair, if I'm honest. Because if without having his permission, if I was to do a general search and these were the results and I went in, that's different because I have found them by chance. But if I'm being asked to review someone else's website, that's a little bit, and that's a little, to tell you how to build it without their permission, that's a little bit unfair, Johnny. Can't do that. I can't do that. If I found it by chance, that would be different. But if someone says go and review X, Y, Z without like their permission, then I'm gonna have to say we can't do that. Hold on, I'm gonna try something else. 7-4. I'm just gonna quickly try and log into someone's. No. They need to be sent within. Hold on a minute. Wait, within 10 seconds of being generated. Right, I've just sent that. Hello, Raheem. Do you want to come in?
I'll just come say to you, I'm in Rihan's back corner.
Okay.
Let's go in.
And who are you playing with in his back garden?
Rihan and Jude.
Rihan and Jude. Are you hungry?
No.
Are you sure?
I might take a Pringle.
No.
Okay.
All right, you can have your Pringles. Yeah. To be honest, though, Johnny, you see, because, like, if it was found by chance, that's different. This is where, Johnny, yeah, if you're... So this is where I have to draw the line, and I hope everyone understands this, and I hope you get this right. If you ask me to review a website you've built, that's different, because I'm reviewing the website. If you want me to tell you how to build it, that is now consultation. Because now I'm going to have to think a bit more about, okay, do X, Y, Z. So now I'm giving you a dedicated... Because when I do a site review, that's like 5 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. Yeah, do that. If, however, you want me to now, like, almost problem solve that falls into consultation. So that's where I have to draw the line. I'm glad you get that, Johnny. Yeah. By the way, I've had that many, many times before as well from other people. Hey, Crystal from Lake to Her. How are you? Hope you're okay. So it's been a bit of a busy day so far, even though from a work point of view, I haven't really achieved a lot, which slightly annoys me a little bit. However, I do start thinking about new videos and I start to make notes to remind myself of some of the strategies that I'm going to put in. I'll tell you what, if you've never watched the movie Tron Legacy, right? Who here has not watched Tron Legacy? It is eye candy, man. It is so hypnotic in the way they made it, I think, with all the effects. I think it was très bien. Brilliant. Harish, what do you think about having a preloader in a website? I would say, what was the point of the preloader? Yeah? What was the point of it? Does it need to have a... I don't like preloaders, though. They annoy me. There's nothing worse than when you go to a website and it has a fancy logo and then it loads up and I'm like, why? What was that for? What was that for? You know, if it did something and then all of a sudden it changed and then like there was like a CGI animation going on or, you know, like all of the components of the page were like, I'd be like, whoa. But if all it does is go, here's my logo and now here's the home page. I want to go to the About page. Here's the logo. Here's the About page. I want to contact you. I just clicked your goddamn call to action. Here's the logo. And now you got the contact page. That makes me mad. Because it's like, I've just hit your call to action to convert, to contact you, and you've made me just watch the spinning logo or something, right? You know what I mean? One of the things that we all used to hate 20, 25 years ago is the rotating timer. The rotating timer. Or the window logo. Or the dots. We hated them, didn't we? We hated them. However, if I know that it's going to load me stuff that is big, heavy in file size, and I understand why, then I let it go. But there's nothing worse than when, just to get to the contact form, I had to go for a preloader. I'm like, what? What the heck? Were you building it manually before you let me see it? In real time? You know? So, thank you, Bergschwerk. Thank you very much. I'm glad, you know, I always like to know that I give my all in those one-to-ones, you know, and it's not just treated like we'll just do a one-to-one. I love to know that, you know, that I give my all during them. Yeah, exactly like Pez said there, and Pickstar. If you have a content-heavy website, yeah, I get it. If your website is really slow and you're trying to hide that with a preloader, yeah, I get it. But again, it's like, I see it so many times, and I just don't see why. For me, it's like a gimmick. It's like, oh, I can do a preloader. I'll do a preloader then. Like, no, you don't. It's like Excel, right? 23 years ago, right? Excel gave the world 3D charts, right? 3D graphs. So every flipping report that anyone did had to be a 3D pie chart, a 3D bar graph, a 3D line. And then we started to get the area line graphs. And it was like, I can't even see the line anymore because it's like that. Everything was 3D just because Excel gave you the 3D. And what became worse? Everyone started making their bar charts black. Do you remember that? The background was black. And then they had fancy colors, breaking all the rules of colors and palettes. So rather than having a transparent or a white background for, you know, the axes, no, everything was black now. It was like, what the... What was this going? What is going on here? I used to get mad even then. Exactly, Crystal. The timer of doom. Avatars with audio. Avatars with audio. What do you mean, John? When you say avatars need audio, what do you mean? I might get my understanding there wrong a little bit. Yep, Dave. Make your site as fast as possible. Yep. Hey, Muhammad Ali. How you doing? Yeah. Do you know what, George? I've had people say that to me. They go, "Oh yeah." They go, "Oh yeah. Can you use a preloader? I want to use my logo." And I go, "Okay, I don't think you should." They go, "Oh yeah." And then they say, "I don't just want my logo. My logo is like an image and there's words. I want the image to come like that. I want the words to come like that. And there's like a triangle. And I want the triangle to come in. So I want the image and triangle goes zoop. The words go zoop, zoop." And I'm like, "You what?" Goes, "Can you do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you'll have to create a lottie." "Cool, can you do that?" "Yeah, we'll have to employ someone." "Can you do that?" "Yeah, go and get me some money. Add it to the budget." "No, I don't want to pay for it." "Can't you do it?" I don't think you understand. If you say to me, like literally I had to say to someone, this was the architect. Many of you know the story where I was going to work with someone and I got so annoyed with them, I went, "Forget it, I'm not working with you." Basically, this architect kept asking for stuff over and over and over again. And I said to them at the logo time, I said, if you were designing an architect plan for a client, how would you do it? And he was like, yeah, we do the designs. It's all done digital and we give it to them. I go, okay, now your client, when you present it to them, they want you, because it's digital, for the design to appear line by line. I don't want to see the full 3D design. I want to see all the lines going in one by one. Put the foundation in, put the walls in, put the blocks in, put the rafters in, fit the windows in, fit the electric in, fit the doorknobs on, right? They want to see the knobs. Make sure you sort the knobs out, okay? Get them all in. Would you do that? And they were like, well, no, because that's not how we do it. And I went, yeah, so you're asking me to take your logo, which is an image, right? It's not even a vector, it's an image, and you want me to break it up into components to have it go blah, 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 blah. But you don't want to pay for the extra work. Basically, right? Get out of town. Not happening. Right? Get out of town. You have the power to say no. You have the control, the authority, and the power to say no. Right? You don't have to do it. Ive, how are you doing? I do need some anger management, don't I? Absolutely, Gary's right there as well. What was the basis of those preloads in the past? It was for basically what Gary is saying. Yeah, custom load your fonts to get around it. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? Have I got a discount coupon for Elementor? No, I don't have a coupon, but what you do need to do is in our videos, we do have a referral link. So if you are going to go and get Elementor, go to our videos. There will be an affiliate link for Elementor. Please go and click it. I don't mind that, but you don't have to do that. I'm not going to force you to click our affiliate link. You can just go straight to elementor.com pricing if you want. But if you want to use the affiliate link, that will be gratefully... No, I'm in your gratitude. You're in my gratitude. Someone's in someone's gratitude, right? Make the knob sweat like cheese. What the heck, Pickstar? You just took the preload into another dimension, you know. But yeah, I just found it really funny. You know, they literally wanted me to take a static image. The wording and the triangle were all overlapping. And I was like, I can't even Photoshop this. If I could connect things out, we could work something up. I could get someone to just make a quick Lottie animation. I could probably even do it in Canva, to be honest. Save it as an MP4, convert it into a Lottie, make sure it still looks good, you know, in terms of resolution, and we can get away with that. We've done a video on how you can create an animation in Canva or even PowerPoint. You can even do it in PowerPoint and then convert it into the Lottie file format to be used. But this image, hey Linda, how you doing? This image they gave me, it was overlapping. The logo, the wording, the triangle, and there was a line. It was like a triangular line, like that. Almost like a reverse tick. I can't even, like, stitch it out. I can't even stitch it out. What do you think about mobile? Oh, mobile first. Okay, look, I think doing mobile first is really, really good. I prefer to go with desktop first. And I'm not saying that I am right. I'm just telling you why I like to do it. I like to build assuming that you're going to look at it on a screen. And then when I get to the mobile, because I've already built as responsively as possible, by the time I get to the mobile, 99% of it is absolutely fine. I don't need to really change much. It's all fine. 1% is the odd image change, or I might say on the desktop we had 5 images. On the mobile we're only going to have 3 or 2. So I get rid of it. So I find it's easier for me to go big. Hey Andrea, it's big for me to go big and work down to small because I can take out, yeah? Whereas I find with my small brain, when I start on mobile first, right? If I start on mobile first, when I get to desktop, I then feel like I'm adding things in, kind of thing. So I find like I then end up messing things up, and then I have to go back to the mobile, then back again. But John is absolutely right. People do use the mobile more, but the way my brain works, and I'll tell you what it is, yeah, it comes down to the creative writing inside of me. Yeah, so I used to write novels and stuff, okay? The way I used to write is think less, write more, okay? All of you, say it with me right now. Think less, write more. When you start writing your novel and you're typing it, you just write. You just write. Don't think about making it perfect. Forget the grammar. Forget the typos. It doesn't matter if you get the age of your character wrong or the wrong style of hair or you're not sure what to write. So just put bullet points. It's okay. Get to the end. Don't care how long it takes. Get to the end. You might have 150,000 words. Then you edit it. And you edit it again. And by the time you got to the final copy edit or the proofread, you're probably down to 70,000 words. Over 50% of what you wrote is binned, dirt, shit, sling it, no good for you, knobs, right? It's gone, okay? My brain kind of works like that, in where I prefer to go desktop and then I condense for the mobile where required. Whereas if I was writing a novel and I start with like the perfect novel and then someone says, now make it bigger, I would then be like, then there's the risk of me waffling and padding because they go, oh, it's 70,000, we want it to be 100,000 words. And you kind of go, no, all right, it's already perfect. And when I would start, so I prefer to go big to small. But that's just me. That's just me. You should always go for what works for you. By the way, I keep looking at my phone because I've got a client who's meant to send me a Stripe verification code. They keep sending the code. After I request it, I then say, look, you're too late. Oh, here we go. Right, okay, cool, right. They've just said, right, come on. They're going to send it now. But the thing is, I requested it 3 minutes ago, so it's probably timed out. Hey, Stacey, how are you doing? Yep, Carlo, they are actually. They are doing a multilingual service. You're right. I mean, oh no, it's not letting me type the numbers in now. Ugh. Sorry, I'm having a moment here because I can't even type the numbers in now. Can you guys just give me a moment, right? Because now, I'm having a really bad moment here with this client because they keep... Every time I send them a code, they keep stepping away. Ugh. Right, okay, I'm in now. Right, I'm in. Right, we're in now. We're in. Okay, cool, we're finally in. Just reading some of the comments. Yeah, so basically, because... And also, the other reason I like to start in desktop as well is because I use Clamp, right? And when you use the Clamp functionality, you put it in at the desktop. You don't put it into the mobile screen. So what I do is, because I start desktop and I pop it in... Sorry, I've got a bit of a burp going on there from like... from drinking too much of that fizz going down me. Because you start at the desktop and you clamp it, by the time you get to the mobile, a lot of the padding and margin, EM, REM, all of that is already gone ding, 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 ding. And then you get down to the mobile and I go, we'll swap that. We'll swap the order. Done. We'll put a different image in for the hero banner. Done. I'll get rid of that image. Done. And that's it. And I just fly through it. Whereas if I go the other way, I find I'm spending much, much longer on it, kind of thing, you know. So, yeah. I'm just going to pop this back over because this has now gone over about 4 times. I'm going to quickly just change this over. Just bear with me. Where are we? Where are we? I'm still here, okay. It's probably going to take about another, like, it's going to, hopefully it syncs. I don't know how quick it, yeah, look, there's a bit of a delay, right? And it takes about 7 minutes to sync every time I change it, but it will sync in, all right? So just give it time to sync properly. Yeah, exactly like Pez. I'm like that as well. So when I start thinking, when I'm building on the desktop, that's why I use Clamp, because I know now I'm thinking like about the mobile. And I'm telling you now, I mean this, right? If you watch those recent tutorials I've done and you start to follow through that logic, those videos for bricks that I did was about 3 hours long, I think. If I wasn't talking and I just did it, I probably would have got that done in about an hour and a half. Even an hour and a half, maybe less than that. Because I would have just done it. Right? And you will have noticed that in the videos, by the time I got to the mobile, there was very little for me to do. Very little. Because the Clamp just sorted it all out. The kids are outside. You can hear them. I don't know. You probably can't hear them, but there's a little bit going on at the moment. But I have to keep. Okay, just checking the kids are all okay there. Oh dear. Right. El Jedi says it's better to be big than small. What are you talking about, El Jedi? Yeah, I mean, look, for me, yeah, the easiest thing when you come to do the hero banner image is you copy it into your media library twice. You then crop and scale one of them to be about, I don't know, 500 width by 700 height. And you might scale or crop it a bit more or whatever you want to do. And then you have another image that you pump through for the mobile, and a job's a good one. That's it. A job's a good one. Exactly what Pez says there. Exactly what Pez says there. And you kind of just you just make a different image and it will work absolutely fine for you. Oh, great. Can I just say right now, I'm a little bit annoyed because can you tell why I'm annoyed right now? Can you literally tell why I'm annoyed? Hey, David. Haha, 3-inch screen. Haha, big star. Okay, this has happened to me many times, right? And every time I keep instructing my clients the same thing over and over and over and over again. What do you think has just annoyed me? Remember, I am connecting their website to Stripe because they want to go from PayPal to Stripe. What do you think has annoyed the shits out of me right now? What do you think's annoyed me? What do you think's annoyed me? Anyone who's ever connected a website to Stripe, remember the clients told me they've set up their account. What do you think's annoyed me? What do you think's annoyed me? No, not run out of Pepsi Max, mate. No. Ooh, no. Never, Pez. God damn it. I'd rather die, my dear man. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Carlo? It's one of those things that it takes a bit of time for you to get your head round it, kind of thing. By the way, apologies for that it's not fully in sync. It will go into sync in a moment, okay? Right? But once you've got your head round not Pixar. Not Pixar. Pixels. No. Let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is, my friends. When you tell someone to set up... Crystal's kind of there. When you tell someone to set up their Stripe account and to make sure it's all verified, and I log in, They haven't put their company number in. They haven't put their address in. They haven't put anything in. All they've done is set up the username and password. That's not my job. It has taken, let me give you the numbers here, right? It has taken nearly 3 hours of back and forth. By the way, I've been doing other stuff, so it's not really affected me time-wise. It's been open in the background. But it's taken nearly 3 hours to make sure we eventually got the password verification code so I could access their account, because they kept sending it late. And when I get in, they have not set it up. Okay? Who else here has gone through that problem? Anyone else here gone through that? Okay? Yeah, exactly, Brian. It's the same kind of thing, right? And all they've done is set up the username and password, and you sort of go, you know, who else here goes through this problem? After you've told them you've got to set it up, you've got to go through the verification process, you've got to make sure you submit all the necessary forms to Stripe, because it can take 7 days, right? It can take 7 days to get verified. You tell them all of this. 8 days later, they come back and go, yeah, we're done. And you go, okay, so everything's sorted. Yep, it's all done. We've even got the password verification set up. Okay, all done. Yeah, it's all done. And then you go in and none of it's done. Do you know what I mean? None of it is done. And this is the thing where I have to go back and go, oh, man. Let me just, do you know what? I'm just going to send them a message. Just send them a message. Can I just send them a message while you're all just watching me stress out right now? What's your company number? What's your company number? This is stressing me out now. Company number and company phone number, because I can get the address for them. By the way, they have paid extra for this, so I will do it out of a duty of care. But it is one of those. Why do people not understand verification? Right? Like, do you want me to put my phone number in? Maybe I'll put my account details in while I'm here, right? Maybe I need to do a full-blown step-by-step video on how to set up a Stripe account. What do you think? Maybe I should do a step-by-step video, but I do it in a very formal way, so that you can share it with your clients on what they need to do. And you need to say, you need to watch this and follow the steps. What do you think? What do you think? Should I do that? Should I set up a video one day where I literally go, log in here, now complete this. And then I continue the video, like I go, right, 7 days have now passed. You know, it's all in one video. Now you must do X, Y, Z. Now put this in. Now put that in. Do I have to do that? Would you be up for that? Yeah? I think I should, shouldn't I? Because it's just kind of like, you know, they just don't, you know. Tablets are kind of like a funny thing, yeah. For me, tablets now are the great thing to have if you want to do note taking or illustrations on the go. But that's about it, isn't it? The whole fun of surfing the internet on your tablet started to go out of fashion the minute we started to have bigger phones, right? But now, you know, they're very, very, very much redundant. Cheers, Pez. I mean, to be honest, I am now seriously considering at some point I will create a Stripe video, and I will, you know, recommend people. You don't have to, but send this to your clients if they are setting up and all of that, just so that they can follow it through. So that when they say to you, yeah, I've now set it up, and it's now ready to connect to my WooCommerce website, they actually, you can say, did you follow the video? So have you done everything that was asked of you, kind of thing? Yeah, kind of, have you done it? I'm just going to check how long I've been live now, mainly because I have got Raheem's appointment in not just yet, but eventually. We have been live for 1 hour and 19 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to say toodaloo, not to the loo, as in toodaloo, in 2 minutes time. Okay, so I'm going to wish you all the best. I will be back normal time tomorrow, 12 o'clock midday UK time. Hopefully, after I've done the call with Raheem and the ADHD consultant, I get to have some me time to get some stuff done with designing and setting a few things up. Oh, man. It's like, this is where I get annoyed, you see. So, look, I've just asked them, what's your company number? And they're not come back to me yet. Where's your company number? I need your company number. Without your company number, I can't do much. I hope you've enjoyed the graphics that we've had behind. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, you know, rather than just having the Star Wars stuff. But I hope you've enjoyed it. By the way, do you have any preferences for what you would like to see playing over here? Yeah, do you have any preferences? Pickstar, all of you, what do you want? Andrea, Brian, Linda, Crystal, Pez, Gary, your daddy, your mummy, Go Daddy, all of you. What would you like to see? What would you like to see as footage playing in the background there? What would you like to see? Nothing rude. Okay. Nothing rude. All right. What would you like to see playing in the background there? So I've mixed it up a little bit with some Marvel stuff. There you go. It's now in sync. It's annoying how long it takes to sync up properly, right? But what would you like to see in the background over here behind me? You know, do you have any preferences for anything? So please do let me know. Yeah, by the way, Wendy, thanks for sticking around. And like, you know, like if you ever do want some free advice or anything like that, please don't forget, if you go over to Facebook, if you go over to, well, Facebook, Web Squadron, just do a search for the Web Squadron group. We've got our group, and I'm just going to accept a few more people into the group. We're doing quite well. So far, we've got 3,528 members. We're doing really, really well, I think. I mean, we're not a slow group. We have a lot going on here every day. So if you ever want to continue conversations, if you ever want to get some feedback on your hero banner, if you ever have like, you know, like I've got an idea, do you think this will work? Stick in a scribbled image or a photo or anything like that, please do go away and stick it in there. Carlo is saying, should have a cool sign of visual media. Not going to happen, visual media. Okay. Space. Elementor notes. Pez, you just, oh boy, now you've triggered me, right? Now you've triggered me. Elemental commercial was short. Pickstar, we just said we're not doing that, okay? Beautiful day today. Well, it kind of is a beautiful day. Yeah, Chris. The leg man. Oh, dear. Nice one, Wendy. Okay, everyone, look, I'm going to say goodbye now. Take care, okay? I'll see you all soon. Hopefully see you tomorrow. But please do remember, if you are busy, you don't need me to tell you this, but if you're busy and you've got other stuff on, please do not join the live chats. Please do whatever you got to do, okay? Please do what you got to do. All right, take care, everyone. I'm going to catch you all soon. I'm going to say goodbye now. I love doing these live chats. I really do. It's like, I just love it. It's like being a counselor, but I love it. Take care. See you soon. Bye.